What's good? What's good, YouTube? What's up? Good morning. Good morning to you. Good evening. What's going on? What's good, y'all? Looks like everything on my end is good. You guys see the topic below? Man, we are going to talk about something that I think is very, 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 very underrated, and I think that also that a lot of YouTubers don't really talk about. So we're going to talk about how to sustain, like once you get into a relationship and you've gone through those courting system, you've gone through all that, then you're in a relationship, and then how do you sustain it? So yeah, we're going to talk about that today. So yeah, how's everybody doing today? Where you at? Tell me in the comment section. Where are you viewing from? Would love to see where you guys are at, where we're reaching. So yeah, how's everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing great. Um, just so you know, make sure you guys get that relocation guide, and if you guys need any help with anything, hit the link in the description there of this video. It is my set up a consultation with me, and it is my relocation guide. So yeah, I've been on the ground here 6 years. I've gone through a lot. I've seen a lot. I've experienced a lot. So that's basically what this channel is all about, is just real world, real life situations that you guys can watch out for. All right. So yeah, hit the links in the description, and yeah, it'll be good for you. How's everyone doing? I hope you guys are all right. Airport Cambodia. Hey Butch, how you doing? Salute to you, sir. I'm at the airport in Cambodia. Love it, love it. I will be talking to you soon. All right, perfect. Sal says Puerto Rico. All right, salute to you, sir. Salute to you. All right, Butch says Butch 3727. Always good to have boots on the ground. Yes, I totally agree. Totally agree. Thank you for that. I appreciate the comment. Okay, Mr. Will M says, last live was great. Looking forward to this one as well. Headquarters, Florida. Let's go. Salute to you, Will. Let's go, bro. Florida. How's the weather out there right now in Florida? So Florida, I've never been to Florida, but Floridians tell me that the Vietnam weather is just like here in Ho Chi Minh City. So let me know what you guys in Florida think, Will. I'm pretty, you would fit just fine here in Ho Chi Minh. So anyways, yeah, I appreciate the early comments. You guys, salute to you guys. You guys are amazing. So yeah, you see it. This is the topic we're going to talk about today. I'm going to get in and out. Yeah, I work a full-time job, so it's nice to be able to connect with you guys. And yeah, I'm tired. So yeah, today's topic is going to be how to sustain a relationship once you're in a relationship with a Vietnamese woman in Vietnam. So I'm talking about specifically here in Vietnam. I'm not talking about abroad Vietnamese. Okay, just got to preference that. All right, so let's dive in. Give me a second here. Let me share my screen with you guys. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to just comment and I'll get to them. If they're important, super chat is always the way to go. So let me share my window with you guys, and bear with me here. Yeah, we're ready to go. All right, so basically what we're going to do today is, once you start the relationship, let me get that into a slideshow here. Boom. It's too big for me though. Let's go like this. All right. Okay, so once you meet a Vietnamese woman, you can meet Vietnamese women anywhere here in Vietnam. So the subscribers who have come to visit me and try out, I have a few subscribers right now that are traveling that I took care of all their reservations, all that stuff. They're here in this country right now, and they're having a great time. All right. So you can meet Vietnamese women all over the place. Okay. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Cafes are a huge, that's my number one. If you go to a couple videos back, I just dropped one that was with a cafe. I gave you that recommendation. It's here near in Govap here in Ho Chi Minh City. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. All right. It was legit. All right. My cafes are number one where I meet Vietnamese women. Um, Language exchanges are okay. The problem with language exchanges is that there's too much, I like to call it established dick, right? That has already been there, that's been putting in work every week. So you're going to go against, you're a newcomer. So you're going to go against those established dicks. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of fierce competition with that, with those girls' attention. So I like to steer clear. I'm gonna be honest, but that is an option. All right, expat events. There's a ton of them over here in Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi as well, where they like a book club or something like that, where or even like exchanging language groups and stuff you could do here. So those have Vietnamese women in it that are generally gonna speak English, right? Or at least they're trying daily to speak English, and so they'll be more interested in maybe foreigners, dating foreigners. Um, yeah, but there's a lot of foreigners there, to be honest, dudes. Okay. And then social apps, right? Here they use Facebook. Here they use obviously TikTok and Instagram, but Facebook is number one, okay, because they like to chat on that. But and that's just from 40s. That is chatting on Facebook from 40s to down to 20s. Okay, so they all are on Facebook. All right, really weird because when I first got here, I didn't really use Facebook like that, only just to post my travels. But then I got here and they were just chatting away on Facebook. Like when I first got here in 2020, they were like, "Hey, do you want to? Do you have Facebook? Do you have Facebook? Do you have Facebook?" Now they still do say, "Do you have Facebook?" But Zalo is really huge here. It's like a WhatsApp messaging app, you know. And so, but anyways, yeah, you can use social apps. Facebook dating is starting to be really big here. So you can meet Vietnamese women on that, but just be careful. All right, meeting Vietnamese women on social apps are kind of cringe to me. Don't get me wrong, I did do it, you know, but I used it with caution. All right, my number one thing is meeting Vietnamese women in real life, in person. Why? Because it gives you more of an opportunity to shine and show who you are. You know what I mean? So I would definitely meet them right here at cafes. Cafes, you can't go wrong. All right, I'm telling you. All right, you'll thank me later, I promise. And just walk, just get here, boots on the ground, and then just walk outside your hotel. I mean, seriously, it's really like that. All right. Uh, First impressions, man, I mean, you know how we're all adults here. I ain't gonna tell you how to dress. All right. So uh, just dress modestly, be yourself. That's the most important thing. Be yourself. And then once you start to get into that relationship, then or the interest stage, you know, the courting stage, right? Because it's the courting stage is in the very beginning. This is my interpretation and what I believe in. Okay. The courting stage begins in the very beginning, the beginning of hello, my name is. That's the courting stage for me. And so um, it starts from there, right? And if you hear, it is exactly the same way. Okay. It's more so now like in the very beginning than it is like when you actually say you are my girlfriend, you know, or you are my boyfriend. The courting stage here in Vietnam is way before. Okay, so keep that in mind because that's very important. All right. Also, once you get into a relationship with a Vietnamese woman, it's going to be very slow. All right, it's going to be. Don't expect to be rushing into a Vietnamese woman. right away. And you know what I mean by running into them, because at the end of the day, they're about family and they're about relationship. It's the real deal here, boots on the ground, right? You like my saying is, it's always how you start the relationship is how you should finish the relationship. Example, if you are um, if you're very toxic in the relationship in the beginning, you've come into the relationship very toxic, very, I haven't dealt with my shit yet, from past trauma. You're going to bring that into a relationship with a Vietnamese woman. Understand that Vietnamese people in general are very aggressive people, and although they're loving, but they have a fiery side to them. Okay. And so they don't put up with that shit. You know what I mean? And so if you're going to jump into a relationship with a Vietnamese woman, you have to be very careful, because especially here in Vietnam, because you're in their country, and they, doesn't matter who the fuck they are, they will protect their own. All right. So you have to understand that that is a thing. Okay. So, anyways, so once you get into the relationship, it's going to move real slow. All right, really slow. Don't expect to be rushing things, right? If you're not ready for an actual mature relationship, don't get into a relationship with someone overseas, one, and two, a Vietnamese woman, okay, or man. All right, men are completely different here than women are. Okay, women are very um, are I like to say this. The man here, this is my interpretation. The man here in Vietnam is the face of the country, and the woman is the backbone. Okay. And the backbone of the country is strong, like super, super strong. Okay. They all talk. They all talk. They have groups where if you're a fuck up and you're fucking around on them and treating them dirty, your face or picture or whatever will be on these social apps. Okay, go look them up. Well, they're pretty. Yeah, go look them up. Actually, I think they're on Facebook as well. They have groups like that. So it's imperative that when you actually formulate a relationship with a Vietnamese person, okay, man or woman, but it's different for a man. But specifically, we're talking about a woman getting into a relationship with a woman. It's imperative that you treat her with the dignity and respect that she needs and she deserves. Really, treat her better than someone who would be local. All right, because that's like that's the like when you date a foreigner, that's what they think of, is like they're gonna elevate me, right? No matter what they want to say, the real deal is that if they take the chance to date outside of their people, they want you to elevate them. Period. Whether it's status, money, image, um, whatever. Okay, whatever. It's on their mind. Okay, and vice versa. It's like, hey, if you get a nice little candy on your arm, it elevates you as well. You know what I mean? It boosts your confidence. It makes you work harder for that person. It makes you do a lot of different things that okay, we're gonna start a family. You know what I'm saying? Or I could potentially see this as wifey. So all just communication, man. I mean, once you get into the relationship, you know that their first language is not English. They know that your first language is not Vietnamese. So of course you guys are gonna have that language barrier. Okay. So understand that once you holler at her, then you get her, then you're going to have to deal with that language barrier on a daily basis, right? Now, if she's smart, she's going to be picking up your language. And if you're smart, you're going to be picking up her language, right? Just a little bit every day, okay? Just a little bit every day, even if it's just one number, right? And just try to practice every day, right? Um, you don't have to be a Vietnamese master, fluent. Okay, you just just try to learn. Okay, that's the biggest thing I can take away from this is just learn, and as you go, don't put so much pressure on yourself, and enjoy the process. Really enjoy the process. All right. So yeah, I mean that makes us roll into winning the family's trust. Again, family is huge. Family is huge on everything. All right, and when you first get her, you first start dating, the biggest thing is going to be her family. I mean, right off the gate, I'm talking like first month, right? You will meet the family. The first month, within the first month, you should meet the family. Why? Because then you're not wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? You're not wasting your time with something that you thought in your heart, damn, this one could be wifey, but then you meet her family and then they're like, yeah, they're really not that nice people. You know what I mean? They're strict. They're like, they're gonna give you a hard time. They're gonna give her more of a hard time. So these things are real, man. I've experienced it, right? Example, I had before my relationship now, this was in 2021, yeah, here in Ho Chi Minh City. I was dating, or before we were just coworkers, but before we started talking a little bit, and then we started going on a date. We next thing you know, it was like a week, literally. We started hanging out more throughout the week. Like after that, she would come to my house, and then the next day, seriously, it was 7 days. So it was like day six. Something started was kind of off about her. She wouldn't let me. She wouldn't receive my phone calls. She wouldn't get back to me as fast as she used to. And then suddenly the next day she broke up with me, and we weren't even together, but it was more like I can't talk to you anymore. And then she told me why, and then I was like, huh, that was weird. Her reason was her mom said that she can't date a foreigner. And when we worked together, so we would see each other the next day. Well, she quit. So it was pretty interesting. So I've experienced it, right? I felt like that was weird. Like it was really, really, really hot and heavy, really, really, really hot and heavy for like 4 days, and then 5, 6, and 7 like dry. I was like, damn, okay, damn, these Vietnamese girls be moving different. All right, so let me see. I have some more comments. Let's see. Will got you already. Joseph Eubanks says, "Peace, KT. I met a brother named Jeff. He said that he knows you." Okay. All right, bet. All right, what's up, Joe? How you doing, Joseph? Um, he's been living in Vietnam for years. All right, bet. Jeff, I don't. Maybe I might know a Jeff. I'm not sure, but yeah. Thanks for the comment, bro. Appreciate you. James Jones says, I'm thinking about visiting Vietnam next year. Yeah, man. Come through if you're looking for um, looking for anything, man. Just holler at me. I'll point you in the right direction. But yeah, Vietnam is on the come up big time right now. And excuse me, my voice been talking, yelling all week. So forgive me if it's a little low. It's a little raspy today. But I've been getting a lot of emails from people over the last couple weeks that have been like, "Yo, I'm coming." So yeah, come check it out. It's not for everyone, FYI, but just enjoy it. Don't just come for the affordability. Come for the real atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, thanks for the comment, James. Appreciate you. Kay says, "Hi, KT from NorCal. Hey, what's up? What's up, brother? Love. See you in a couple months." My boy K Dog, thanks, man. James Jones says, "I heard Vietnam is giving citizenship." Nah, see, So I do have, thank you for bringing this up. I do have to clarify that uh, it's not, Vietnam is not just giving willy-nilly the citizenship. I've been seeing a lot of YouTubers coming up and saying, "Oh, you can get citizenship." Yeah. It's like, no, it's not true. If you're married to a Vietnamese and you've been here over 5 years, and they took away the language requirement, but it's easier for them to get married to go in. All right, so what? For example, once I get married, I'm not saying I want Vietnamese citizenship. It would be nice, but I'm gonna attempt to do it. Let's just say, and see for myself what it is, and I'll bring you guys along with me. I'll document the process, but I'm gonna try it. And I've been here over 5 years. I've been working over 5 years. Um, I'm gonna get married, so yeah, I will be your guys' guinea pig, and we'll just put this shit to rest. I mean, that the new law was designed for Vietnamese people who live abroad who have blood of Vietnamese. Okay, not for us foreigners who just want to come in and be like, I'm gonna marry a bar girl. No, that's not gonna happen. All right. You have to put in work here. You know, you have to do the things that you need to do, and even then, that's going to be you might have a chance. You just might. You know what I mean? So I might not get it. All right. So but I'm willing to try, and I'm willing to see what's up. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah. I hope that answered the question. You cannot get Vietnamese citizenship as a foreigner. It's very, very difficult as just a random foreigner. You have to have Vietnamese lineage, period. Okay. So I hope that's clarified for everyone. All right. That's out there. All right. All right. Thanks, James. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Respect. Thank you, brother. I will document that as well. So I will document that as well. My marriage. I mean, my wedding. My wedding. You ain't gonna see my marriage, okay? You'll see parts of it though. All right. James Jones says Thailand may be a better option for citizenship. Yeah. What I've what I've seen recently is that Thailand's becoming kind of the reverse. And I think that's why Vietnam is kind of just taking a step back and pumping their brakes just to see what's going on in Thailand, because they let a whole bunch of people come in, and what Vietnam's realizing is that not the upper echelon people really want to go to Vietnam. Why? Because of all the issues that it has, you know? And so that's what I'm seeing. And so yeah, of course investment is coming in, but it's slowed down considerably. All right. So for citizenship, yeah, I think Thailand is going to be a better option right now, but it doesn't look like it's going to be for a while. So anyways, yeah. Thanks for the comment, man. I appreciate it. Maybe Thailand, maybe not. Who knows, you know? So let's get back into this real quick. So yeah, winning her family, right? It's the most important thing in the beginning of your relationship. That again, like I said, how you start your Vietnamese your relationship is how you should finish, right? If you're a good guy in the beginning, don't fucking change in because of some bullshit. You know what I mean? Remain, you know, shit happens in relationships. Let's be real, okay? But just remain that person, right? How you start, it's important here, okay? Here on the ground, it's important, man, because people, yeah, change for the better, shit, of course. But if you're gonna be in a relationship in the beginning, how you are is how you should finish, all right? So, honestly, how the vibe is in the beginning is completely different in the middle. And the middle can be 10 years, okay? But from the first year to the 10th year, right? And hopefully marriage is there. In that you're married, right? But what I'm going to say is that you should share some sort of values. I would say like 80%, period. If you guys are the same type of person, like for example, she likes to clean, and she likes to cook, and she likes to take care of the house, and you like to make the money, and you help out a little bit around the house, but you guys come together for the household. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is what I mean. If you can share goals like that, like a winning, that's a winning formula. Because let's be real, no one talks about it on YouTube, is that the new age Vietnamese woman, and I'm talking about 20s, early 20s to uh, let's say 50, okay? They want you to, the man, they want you to make the money. They want you to help around the house. They want you to fuck them good, right? And they want you to be around. That's the reality of dating a Vietnamese woman. Cut and dry. Okay? I just gave you guys the blueprint, all right? I just gave you the blueprint straight up, you know? And I'm not saying those little four things are in any kind of order, but if you have a good woman that no matter what, she wants the dick good. I'm just saying, not saying, all right? Dick must be good for her. I'm just gonna be honest. Money should be right. Okay, they're really okay with you coming up. Okay, because if you come up, then they come up. It's all good, right? But that should be right, and it should be getting on its way, right? If you're retired, they understand that, right? The reason why I really like Vietnamese women is that they're really understanding, and they come from the same struggle, mentally at least, and historically, that we come from. You know, us, you know, brown people, right? And so they really understand that. There are people in other nations that don't understand. So, uh, yeah, that's what I like. They have empathy, right? So, anyways, yeah, man, you guys should just learn some Vietnamese greetings. Be respectful. This, I'm gonna tell you this, and I know you know this, right? I know you know this, okay? But Vietnamese people speak with 80% body language, more like 90%, I'll be honest. But 80% to 90%, they speak with their body, okay? Face, gestures. Um, and if you don't pick up on that shit, you're gonna be in a world of hurt. Like, seriously, okay? They have this thing called face, save face, and if you don't pick up on the saving face aspect, it's going to be a problem. Because how we are in the US is that we deal with shit right away. Like, let's go. Hey, man, you got a problem with me? Example. Hey, man, you got a problem with me? Is there something we can talk about, get this resolved so we can move on? Yeah, I got a long ass day. They would be like, everything is okay. And then go off and fucking talk shit behind your back, and then later and later and later and later they'll just dog you out, talk behind your back, um, try to get you fired, try to just, it's little shit. They're very petty. All right, so you got to watch that shit. Very petty. Okay, everything good, everything real good, everything good like that. Okay, but when everything is not good, oof, try to resolve it as soon as you can. All right, whatever the issue is, try to resolve it as fast as you can, because that motherfucker can spread like a wildfire. And especially in relationships, how you start is how you should finish. You're gonna hear me saying this a lot in this live stream, and that's what I truly believe. Okay, if you met her, you were a sweet man, you took care of everything. You supported her in her dreams or whatever. And then later on, she burned you, but you still were together. Come on. Work that shit out. If you can't, break up. You know what I mean? Here, you can't just linger. You can't just linger because it's messy and you're not in your country. All right. So I would, like I said, share your future plans. and job stability with the family. All right. Make sure that if her family invites you, if you guys live close enough, make sure that if they invite you to like a wedding or to come over and eat, like I'm telling you, every single day, every week shit, right? This is on boots on the ground, every week shit. Moms, dads, sister, brother, they'll come over, they'll hang out, they'll call each other every day, be in contact every day. Be prepared for that. Family is involved. You have to be okay with them being in your business. It's just the way it is. All right. And hopefully that you vetted the family at the beginning of your relationship before. Remember, you're going to meet them the first month. Try to hang out with them as much as you can while you're in that courting stage. Okay, because again, um, these are like little nuggets that I'm trying to drop on your melon. I'm trying to drop them on your melon right now. Hang out with her family. I know it's like, Kev, I don't want to hang out with her family. I just want to be with her. I know, I get it, but I'm telling you, if you think that she wifey, it's gonna pay off in the end, in the future. Trust me on this. All right. So you make that winning trust, and you build it in the very beginning of your relationship. If family sees that you're a good person, you're a good guy, and you're not about some bullshit, they're gonna stamp the approval. Boop! And then after that, that shit's on you. Okay. So if you're up for it, the thing is, if you're up for it, then go all the way with it. All right. Don't be, well, I like these girl, but this is my queen. Well, but no, I like this girl. Don't do that. Don't even think about cheating on a Vietnamese girl. All right. If you're not ready, that's cool. Just don't, just let her go. You know what I'm saying? Because it's here they believe in noble, and again they believe in that saving face shit. So it's a real thing. And Vietnamese women, from what I've heard, are very vindictive. You know what I mean? They're very vindictive. So uh, yeah, just watch out. Okay. I've heard some stories recently. I'm like, okay. Uh, so bring appropriate gifts and show humility. Always show humility. Always, always, always. Okay. This is with the family. Bring them some gifts. When you go hang out with them, right? You hang out with them and they're really cool people. You like them. Bring them a little small something. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about like bring them like a little fruit, like a little vegetable basket or something like that. You know what I mean? Something that you can offer to the family. They really, really, really appreciate that, and it goes a long way with Vietnamese people. Okay, because it shows that you're a human, one, you're humble, two, and that you understand them and their culture, right? Of like giving, right? So yeah. So show humility. Don't go in there, hey, fuck you. No. All right. Show humility, understand the cultural norms. You must find that out quick. Understand the cultural norms, and then at the end of the day, just be yourself, but tone it down 50%. All right. All right. Be funny. If you're a funny person, be funny. That's gonna take you a long way here in Vietnam. It's gonna take you a long way. So yeah, remember, regional differences from the north are completely different from the south. All right. So the north, I lived 3 years. This is where my lady's from, so she's from the north, and so a little plug, a little bit of melon on some knowledge. If you're looking for a Vietnamese woman, you've heard me say this a lot throughout my videos. Go to the north, straight up. Just saying, not saying, right? Go to the north. Go get you a good, pure woman and enjoy your fruits of your labor. And I promise you'll thank me later. All right, get a woman in the north. I'm not saying and knocking the South women, but it's been my experience that Southern women, you just kind of play games with them. And they play a lot of games here too in Ho Chi Minh City. They play a lot of games, right? Get yourself if you can find one in the south that's from like right out that's like far away from the um, far away from the city, right? But it's still technically in the south. I would definitely. That's probably a good person as well. All right. Remember, all of the Vietnamese women that are in the city where I'm in, Ho Chi Minh City, the biggest one, all of them are probably 80% of them are all transplants. You'll see this in Tet during Tet holiday, their New Year's. You'll see this where the whole city is wiped out, the whole city. And when I lived in Hanoi, it was the same way. All right, so everyone from the countryside comes in, and then everyone leaves during Tet. That's when you notice how many people are transplant. Okay, that's how you notice. I have 5 of those so far, 5 of them, and every single year it's been the same way. In the same way. All right. So yeah, if I can give you any advice, I would my little 2 cents would be go and check out her family. All right, vet her family, make sure that they're decent and good people. Not we're all every one of us fucked up. Every single one of us is fucked up. All right, let's be real. Um, and if you can find the one who's less fucked up, then cool. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it a buck. All right. So family, if you can win the family over, it doesn't take a lot to win the family over. All right. Let's see. I got some comments here. Da, da, da. James Jones says, I had a ball in Thailand. Ooh, well, do you have a YouTube channel? You should be documenting this, my brother. I mean, come on, James. Thanks for the comment, bro. Will Super Chat, my man. Thank you, brother. Will M says, how challenging is it to get into social circles to connect with women? Also, if the parents are strict, is there anything possible to win them over? Yes. I'm gonna take your question backwards. So yes, um, it depends on what year her parents were born and what era they grew up in. If they're younger, like I'm talking about mid to late 40s, and she's probably like they have kids young here, so it's hard to say, but she's probably in her early 20s, mid 20s. Um, yeah, I would definitely say you can win them over easier because they're more hip to social media and they're more hip to like how we grew up, you know what I'm saying? But if her parents are older than that, in their 50s, 60s, and like let's say 70s, they're gonna come from the old school mentality, right? Maybe the 50s is still a little bit hip, a little bit, but the 60s and 70s for sure they're gonna be all about the old school way. So they're stuck in their ways, is what I'm trying to say. But other than that, if they're younger parents, definitely, right? They're hip, they're cool, but of course you're not gonna win everybody. You know what I'm saying? So um, don't if you see there's a problem with pops or if there's a problem with her mom's, the one you really need to win over is mom. Period. I'm just letting you know. All right, is dad's cool, but dads understand that dads needs to make money. They need to make money. So, and they're in a whole different mindset than their wife is. Their wife is plugged in. Wives should be plugged in here in Vietnam. And I mean, what I mean by plugged in is like just in the neighborhood, what's going on. Um, just you'd be surprised who they know. Okay. How challenging is it to get into social circles to connect with women? You're challenging, very challenging. Just like you wouldn't just let some rando just come into your friend group, right? That's exactly how it is here, but it's not impossible. Um, if one Vietnamese girl likes you, she'll give you a shot. Just saying, she'll give you a shot. That's why I'm saying it's important that you meet these females. Like even if when I was single, I would see a group of Vietnamese girls and I would just say hi. Like one of them would be looking at me and as I walk by and she'd be like, hi. That's what happens. And then they all look, and then I'm like, hi, and I'll be like, hello, how are you? And then they all, hey. So it's just that easy. It really is just that easy. Um, if one likes you, take her on a date, have a good time, then you're in the circle. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know if Vietnamese women would be friends with true friends with a foreigner man. It just kind of is not their nature. You know what I mean? Only like dating or not dating, right? You can be like acquaintances, but she's not gonna be hitting you up being like, so I did this today. That's just not gonna happen. You know what I mean? I have a lot of Vietnamese acquaintance females, but I either worked with them, I met them somewhere in a work setting. Yeah, just all over the place, right? Professional setting of Vietnamese women in my contacts. And so it's just different, you know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, I hope that does. How challenging is it? It's pretty challenging. I'm not going to cap. You just got to date one of them. Don't date all of them, you know what I'm saying? Don't date all of them or one or two, But because again, they have apps and shit that will be like, "Do you know this guy?" And then they'll be like, your face will be everywhere. All right. Well, appreciate you, my man. Appreciate that. That's legit. All right. James Jones says Vietnam has come a long way from 50 years after the war. Yeah, 100%. They've definitely come a long way. That's what I'm saying. It's a golden era right now. Like this next 10 years is going to be a huge golden era. So if I can well, not if I am here, and that's why I'm here. That's in the nutshell why I stayed here. All right, and then I met my honey, right, in the north. So I met my honey, and then I was like, all right, well, let me look and see what this place is all about. But I had already had 5 years or 3 years into, yeah, 2.5 years in actually. So I already had 2.5 years in, so I knew what was happening. All right. Yeah. So a long way, man, a long way. Thanks for the comment. Eric says, "Hello, KT. What's up, Eric? How you doing, brother?" Will says, "Appreciate it. Yeah, you got it, man. All good." So let's jump into living together, right? So you guys are together now. This is solidified. Okay, you started dating. You guys have been together for about a year, right? What are we gonna do now, right? Generally, living together and your daily life is not going to necessarily happen in the first year. It's not probably not even going to happen within the first couple of years. Get engaged, it will happen, right? Vietnamese women and Vietnamese families are very close knit. I already said that, right? You said that, Kevin. Yes, I know. But what that means is that they're going to be staying at home. They're not going to be, just because you're dating her doesn't mean that you're going to she's going to move in with you. I mean that can happen. That can happen, but most Vietnamese women are going to be in the north. In the north, are going to a good woman. Let me just say a good Vietnamese woman, traditional woman at heart, and doesn't matter if she has half liberal like views or whatever, but um, most women Vietnamese are going to be traditional in their foundation, right? So if they're traditional at all, and the higher traditional, the more they're going to stay at home. Okay, so like with my relationship, we were together for two and a half. We were together for 2 years, 2.5 years. I lived in my apartment. She lived at home. That's normal. So don't think that she still lives at home. No, the boys and the girls still live at home, right? Um, just saying. Uh, it's complete opposite where we come from. Our parents can't wait to get us up out of there at 18. Like, tick. tick, tick, 18. Okay, get up out of here, you know. Yeah, you got your shit together, you know. But here they're like, no, no, no. You stay home as long as you need. Seriously. So, but once you make that transition and you start living together, I'm telling you, this is where you start to understand the new age 2025 Vietnamese woman, all right? And it doesn't matter where she comes from. This is what they expect. And what they expect is that, and they will never tell you this. Never, never, never. Right? You have to know this shit. Okay? This is why I'm saying if you're ready for a Vietnamese woman relationship, then this is the kind of stuff you're gonna have to go through. You're gonna have to go through making all the money. You're gonna have to go through paying for everything, right? They are very gracious. If you have a good Vietnamese woman, she will pay. This is daily life. She'll pay for the little things. Okay, buying some small meats and groceries and stuff, and bring them into the house so she can cook for you, right? That's what happens in my relationship, right? You're gonna have to give allowance, right? It's not even just an allowance. It's like just here's this. Go take care of yourself. Do what you got to do. All right. That they like to call that coffee money, but I don't look at it like that. That's just maintaining my woman, and that's the way I roll. You can call it however you want, but in my relationship, although my lady does work, I still break her off, make sure she's taken care of, and that's generally a weekly thing. So if I can give you any advice, maintain your woman, straight up. All right, she'll really, really appreciate that. Doesn't have to be big stuff. Doesn't have to be big money, man. It could be, here's 500 here, 500,000 here. It's not 500 US, but that's $20, just equivalent. Here's a 20 here, here's a 20 there. You know what I mean? Here's 100, there. So just maintain her, bro. That's all I'm saying. And you're gonna pay for all that shit. So just make sure that you understand that they like to go shopping for like groceries and stuff every single day. Okay. Now you need to have grocery money. Okay. So Vietnamese women are very good with their money. Like, so that's really cool. A good Vietnamese woman is going to save you so much money and it's going to save you so much headache. I'm telling you. All right. If you have a really good one who's traditional, who understands her role, as because generally, us men, just talking to the men, we're gonna go out there and just go get it, and you need a backbone to be like, yo, come home, the house is clean, the house is smelling of great food. You know what I mean? Come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you just get off of work and you're fucking dog tired and you're like, man, I need a hot meal. Give me some rice, something simple, but it's hot. You know what that shit does to a man? You'd be like, damn, I'm gonna go knock some mountains down for this girl. You know what I mean? Because it's the little things that matter for me, at least, when and I need, just to relax, you know what I mean? And just to look over and know that she's there. I mean, living with a Vietnamese woman is great, guys. I ain't gonna lie. It's important that you treat them with the dignity and the respect higher than you would ever do, But because again, on this channel, I'm all about relationships. I'm all about getting you guys relationships with Vietnamese women. I'm not gonna get you the relationship. If I happen to introduce you to someone, cool. But I'm trying to educate you guys on what's really happening, right? What's really going on here, because a lot of people do talk a lot of bullshit, but at least when you come to my channel, it's going to be all real deal shit. I'm not talking about just what comes up on Chat GPT. I'm talking about my real life, and I'm going to give you guys some examples of my life that I'm living right now, right? But yeah, if you can once you live together, your daily life is going to be more compact, of course. But the cool thing is that if you have a good one, she's gonna be your rider, your backbone, right? And she's gonna be able to open up doors for you with the language barrier that is you're gonna be like, what? You know, I didn't even pick that up, but she did, Vietnamese women are gonna let you lead. They're gonna let you lead. So if you're a natural born leader, a Vietnamese woman's gonna be perfect for you. Perfect. And living with them, again, there are messy ass women, there are really clean women, right? Thankfully, I have a really clean woman who likes to keep the house clean and herself clean. You know what I mean? And so it's important, man. You get to see those habits, right? If you've never lived with a woman, I strongly suggest get a good woman and then here in Vietnam and then live with her. Okay. Just saying. The longer, I'll say this, the longer you guys have the relationship, it's going to be much, 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 much better when you live together because you guys already know each other, right? If you spent a lot of time, if you spent a lot of time with each other, like living apart, then it's going to be great, easy work, light work when you come here. But again, understand that the real deal Vietnamese, the 2025 Vietnamese women here, they want you to provide all the money, okay? All the money. Don't be surprised if she doesn't pick up none of the bills, okay? That's not her job. That's your job, okay? 2, you have to have a good dick game. Doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be small. It just has to be right for her. Okay. I'm not trying to be ha ha he he. I'm being real, man. I mean, that's the real deal of it. Um, Vietnamese women are just like American women. They love to have sex, period. And so you have a good one, she's yours. Okay. Don't fuck it up. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Um, again, you guys have to understand that gotta have a good job and take care of them. You don't even have to have a job. Just take care of them financially. Okay. Take care of everything, right? Um, gotta have a good, nice, consistent sex life. 3, you just gotta be there for her, right? I know, I know we live a really busy life, but day-to-day relationships, day-to-day with the Vietnamese woman, you have to be there. And what I mean by that is have dinner, right? These things matter to Vietnamese people, right? The communal thing. Have dinner together if you can. Have any kind of meal together. That's where we talk about shit, right? Is at the table. Okay, I'm giving you some real shit. Okay, make time for that every day. Doesn't matter what's going on. If you're on a business trip, cool, whatever. But if you're at home, don't miss mealtime with your Vietnamese woman. Period. That's a big no-no here. Don't do that. Okay. So I would say financial transparency and budgeting and joint expenses. Huge, right? So make sure you guys budget. Obviously, if you're a baller, that doesn't apply. But still, if you are a baller, I would be budgeting, right? Invest your money and make more, right? Why spend it? You know what I'm saying? Why spend all of it? So again, Vietnamese women are very good at budgeting money. A good one will save you money. I promise you. They should. They're bred to do that, right? It's well, you don't know, but I know. And this has been told to me many, many times, is that this is what they do. A good one will put that shit, and just stuff it away and be like, no, we broke. We ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good one will take care of you. I'm just gonna be honest. All right. These ratchet ones, the ones for the streets, you get what you pay for, my bro. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say. Again, I talked about food. Okay, make sure you eat meals with them. Okay, it's different living with your Vietnamese woman because again, they're you make that transition, and then a good one will just get right to work, and I don't mean to make it sound like that, but just get right to work and make a house a home. Like that's how you know you have a good one. You know what I'm saying? These are little things that I'm like that in my own life that made me realize that she was the one for me. You know what I'm saying? And there are a lot of women here who will do that, do even more for you, period. Not even a question. So, again, financial transparency, trust me, just so this is what I do in my household. She has her accounts, I have my accounts, right? Once we get married, we're gonna have a joint account. Okay. I still have my money, she still has her money, right? And I will always contribute to the the joint account and her account. That's going to always be my job. She doesn't ask me for it. Um, she's always surprised when I do it, but I don't ask her for it. That's something I do, right? Just to make sure that I know she got some money in her pocket. I don't ask her how much she has. She doesn't ask me how much I have. So once we get married, we'll have one joint account and savings, of course, and then I'll fund that, and then I'll fund her. That's it. Be prepared for that. Like that's what you should be doing, especially here. Now in the U.S., I'd be like, hey, you make your own money. I'll still give you a little something, but they're just not grateful for it. So Vietnamese women are very, very appreciative of it. You know what I mean? Because again, they make a tenth of what we would make, like not even close. All right. So let's see. I got two comments here. Eric says, what will the family ask in dowry? There is no dowry. There is no dowry here in Vietnam. Vietnamese people are proud people. They're not going to take your money. I mean, a good. Let me stop real quick. A good family will want you to like. Will want you to like. Okay, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say three things at once. So let me slow down. So a good family will not take your dowry. Okay, proud people. Um, Most families would say, "Shit, it's a donation. I'll take it." Okay, that's what I wanted to clarify. Most families would take that shit. Okay, if I was Vietnamese, I'd take that shit. Okay, not gonna lie, but there's no dowry. There's no requirement. The only requirement is to treat her daughter or their daughter with respect and take care of her. That's it. Like seriously. Seriously. And I know China has dowries. I know Thailand has dowry, but that's why I don't date Thai women because my own personal preference is that they are definitely too money hungry. Not all. I can't speak for a general, population of people, but I've met and seen and dated a couple of them in Thailand, Bangkok, like that lived outside of like the touristy area, the real Bangkok. And yeah, it was just kind of about money. And I didn't like that. When I've dated here in Vietnam, not one woman I've ever come across, Vietnamese, that has asked me for money. For that matter, foreign woman or Vietnamese woman, for that matter. So I think that if you get a Vietnamese woman that is asking you for money off the top, that's a huge red flag that you need to fucking run for real, for real. There's millions of Vietnamese women here that will fuck with you. Don't get settled in to something because she's giving you the poom poom. Don't get settled into something just because you're getting a little action. There's millions of women out here who will give you some action straight up. All right. But no dowry. Thanks for the appreciate you, Eric. Okay, Will says most little things a woman can do is actually big for a good man. Yeah, definitely. Um, Living daily, like and I just like probably 9 months. What are we in? we're probably 10 months actually. We're 10 months into living with each other, and it's been amazing, amazing. Uh, Really showed me differently about uh, living with women. I've lived with multiple women, girlfriends and stuff, so I'm a pro at this shit. I know how to do this. I know how to clean the house. I know how not to leave my shit around. I know how not to be a guy. Okay, and even when I was living on my own, I was raised to not be a slob. All right, let's be real. Um, I walked into multiple of my homies' houses, apartments, and you hear, and it's a fucking slob. It's like they just throw their fucking shit everywhere. I'm like, dude, and it smells like a man, a boy. You know what I'm saying? You know that. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, the little things living day to day is like you just got to be more considerate. You know, be a considerate person. And although you walk outside and there's like thousands of people who are not considerate of the city, if not millions every day, but yeah, the little things matter the most, and the big things, yeah, man, we definitely matter. So let's get into. Appreciate you, Will. Appreciate you, Will. If you guys want to support the channel, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'm on my way to 5K subscribers. Would love for you guys' support. And if you guys want to hit that Cash App, you can definitely hit it. Here it is down below. It's $ the story KT. Any support would love it. Really appreciate it. Share the video. I hope you guys are getting some value out of this, man. I'm giving you guys some real shit. All right. No fluff with me. All right. So let's get into our last segment, and then I'm going to open it up to you guys. What do you guys have to say? You guys want to come on to the show, come on to the live and check it out. So deepening. So this goes into our transition of deepening the relationship and long-term planning. So man, you guys have been living together for a while. You think that things are going really well. Let's talk about, are we gonna get married? I don't know, man. So when I started dating Ngun, uh, we my mindset was different. It was let's get into a relationship with Ngun, and then let's elevate her life and elevate our life together. That was my mentality going into the relationship. Still is in that from day one to now. um I just I've always adored her, like I've always adored her. In the beginning, when we first before we started dating, I've always adored her. And that adore, that I see her as the, like what I saw her when I first met her, just an amazing person. And so that's what I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But what I've come to realize is that admiration for her has only grown so much and is really like this now, like, you know, and I always do all my decisions based on that because I care about it. That's the kind of stuff that I'm trying to, like, I guess you guys hopefully pick that up, is that's that's how you build a solid foundation with a Vietnamese woman. Now, I'm lucky because she speaks English, but if you don't get a woman that speaks English or great English, then if you can admire her for who she is, right? I'm not saying put her on a pedestal, but I'm saying just admire her as a human being. I swear to you, that'll take you a long way in your relationship. Period. All right. The fucking second that admiration is pierced, it's probably gonna be the end, to be honest. I'm just gonna be a buck with you. But yeah, and within that admiration, you it's that daily grind, that daily life. You know, you have to cook, and if you're a cooker, you have to cook to support your guys' life. You have to make the money. You have to make sure that she's taken care of. You have to make sure that if you have animals together, they're taken care of. You have to make sure that you go out and work. You have to make sure that you stay busy, right? There's so many million things that a man has to go through in order to just make life happen. You know what I'm saying? And if you have a woman who understands that I need to take a couple things off his plate. You know what I'm saying? And if they're not bitching about like, well, I have to do this and I have to do that and this and that. No, it's a symbiotic relationship. I know it sounds like whatever, but this is what this video is about, is sustaining the relationship. All right, you get into it. Many people, it's fucking easy to get into a relationship. It really is. All right, I've told you guys how to pick up a girl, where to pick up a girl. I've told you all that. Now I'm telling you how to sustain the relationship. All right, and you don't got to do everything I say, but I'm saying I'm living this shit. All right, I'm living what I'm telling you. Right, everything I'm telling you on this live, I do everything and more and more. Right, but how I live is not how you're going to live. So I'm telling you basics of how to keep this relationship fresh, live, fire, right? Go out there and go be somebody, right? It's different trying to make something of yourself in a foreign country than it is in your own country. We know this, right? But people don't really talk. People don't really talk about it on a daily basis, right? And how it is on the ground, like getting up, getting up. You know, this is my example. Getting up every morning at 4 a.m. to go out and teach fourth and fifth graders English, math, and science. 40-hour job, straight up, all around the city. That's what I do, right? Monday through Friday. So in public school, okay? So Vietnamese women a good one will notice your hard work and will reward you with little things every single day. Every day, right? Whether she cook a good meal consistently every day, make sure the house is clean every day consistently, right? Because it's tough. You know, everything you guys deal with in the US or in the West, you're gonna deal with that shit here, living with your Vietnamese woman. You are, right? So don't think that, you know, and of course it's gonna cost you more money, right? So understand, I mean, that goes without saying, but understand that that's the real deal. Okay, your everyday life, if you're chill, like I'm a chill person, my lady's a chill person, but if you're a person who has expectations, don't get into a relationship. I mean, I'm not saying like regular expectation, I'm talking about like if you have high expectation of the woman's gonna take care of everything around the house and she's gonna do that, and you demand shit like that, it's not gonna work out over here, bro. It's not gonna work out over here, and it's not gonna be good. It may work for a few months. You guys move in together, it may work out, but it's never gonna work out. You gotta come into a relationship with pureness, especially with a Vietnamese woman, with pureness and just good intentions. If you have shady and bad intentions, then I wouldn't fuck around with. I just fuck around and play around, but I wouldn't get into a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So when you're deepening your relationship and then you guys get engaged and you're talking about long term, think about it. These are things that most foreigners are like, I'm just gonna take her, we're gonna get married, and then I'm gonna take her to my country. Well, that's not always the best idea. That's actually that's like plan Z. That's like the last thing I would ever do. Ever do. Right? Why? Because she'd be away from her family, and then she's gonna regret it. Eventually, she will regret it. And then she's gonna be resentful. And then she's going to hate you for that. And then she's going to get corrupted by the system of the West. and all the women saying, you don't need him, you don't need that, right? So it's the most terrible idea to take, my opinion, okay? It's the most terrible idea to take your Vietnamese woman from Vietnam and take her abroad. I don't give a damn, okay? One, she's going to eventually come back, she's going to divorce you, and then she's going to leave you. 99% sure, unless she wants to be in the US or whatever. But probably 95% sure that's what's going to happen. All right. So again, decide where you guys want to live long term, and make sure that your career goals are aligned with each other. Okay. If you have a job that's taking you abroad all the time, um, and you're just not in the city, I would consider if you guys should get married or not at all. You know, if she's cool with it and she's loyal and she's down for you, cool. But if she's shaky, like, I don't know, then use that as a red flag that, be like, thank you for, being with me for 5 years. I appreciate it, but I'm gonna go this way, right? Have some balls and leave it. You know what I mean? Let her go and start new, because there's too many Vietnamese women that you're like, to be stuck on like one. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So I would say, if you're gonna get married, make sure that the marriage registration and the visa considerations, that you are well informed. All right. As I go through this process, I haven't started yet, but as I go through this process, I will document it for you guys. All right. I will show you firsthand what this whole marriage registration thing. I've heard a lot of things. But I'm gonna document it and I'm gonna show you guys straight up. So, yeah, the name of the game is, from the very beginning to the very very end, make sure that your Vietnamese woman and you are in a symbiotic relationship. All right. I'm gonna be honest. 9 times out of 10, the man's gonna carry a lot more of the financial burden. All right. You probably get less than 1% who has a Vietnamese woman who's wealthy as fuck. Okay. Or comes from family that has money. I wouldn't want to be with that type of Vietnamese woman anyways. Okay. I'm old school. I like to build a woman up. I like us to build together, let's just say, as well. And so, yeah, that's what the trajectory has been for my relationship personally. And yeah, I hope that for you guys, but if you're building a relationship with a Vietnamese woman, come in it with pureness, right? Be an amazing guy. Start how you start and finish how you finish. All right. Don't bring out any of that West mentality shit here. It's not going to work here. Okay, it's just not going to work. I'll be honest. If you come with your money and lead with your money, you're going to get burned. What else do I need to say? If you are here working long term, it's very good that you get into a relationship with someone you trust. Okay, because eventually you're going to start a business, because there's that many opportunities here, and eventually you're going to have children. Okay, and again, you're going to have children. This is where me and my lady, we've talked about, do we want to have our children here? I mean, we're going to have our children here, but do we want them, as they grow, do we want them to go to the West? I know I just said it's a bad idea, but for the children's sake, I would consider it. I'll just be honest. Education system here is kind of and as far as the international schools, they're hella expensive. So for like mid, little bit better, but mid education. So I would rather just I don't know yet. I'm still kind of thinking about it, to be honest. Maybe if you guys have any suggestions, maybe we could go to a different country. I'm not sure. But these are things I'll be talking to you guys about later. All right, in later videos, because right now I have no idea. If you ask me right now, what if you had children right now that were, you know, 6, would you stay here in Vietnam and educate them, or would you want them to go to university? I mean, go to the United States. Damn, man. And for me, it would be a very hard decision because I just, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm being completely honest. I mean, this is completely honest. I don't know. I would, the education system that that I grew up with is completely different from what it is now in the U.S. And so I just, I don't know. And then the education system here is not as good. Um, and I just wouldn't want to take her from her parents and her fam. So, man, I don't know, bro. And these are things that you have to really understand. Like you're seeing in real time right now. I have no goddamn idea what I would do. Like if you ask me right now, I don't know, man. My gut would say stay here because I mean I don't want to pull her away from her fam, but my gut also would say like I would like my kids to have at least a little bit of a experience of the U.S. You know, as I see it right now, I wouldn't bring my kids up here as it stands right now, just because it's not there yet. You know, Vietnam is not there yet. You know, they're still throwing fucking trash everywhere. Um, they still piss outside. You know, they don't give a damn. They still have no coordination with the roads and shit. So nobody works together. There's a long way to go before I would say, yeah, I think we'll stay here and we'll raise the kids here, to be honest. But if I had to do it right now, I don't know. I don't know, man. To be honest, I don't know. It would be really hard to make that decision. Not gonna lie. Um, and these are things that you have to be aware of. You know what I mean? Like if you have, what happens if you have a kid? What happens if you have a kid and you raise that kid? And there's plenty of people raising their kids here, foreigners raising their kid here. But these are things that you have to like. What about if you get sick? Healthcare, all that stuff. Healthcare, I'm not so much. I'm not so concerned about because I'll just go to FV. You know, I'll go to the international hospitals, and we'll be straight. So, yeah. All right. So basically, that's what I got. Um, I mean, it's time for y'all to come on up, and if you guys want to come and have a discussion with me, come on. Let's go to, let's see. Will, okay. Bliss Horizons, salute to you. Bliss Horizon says, bro, you the real MVP. Yeah, I appreciate you. Love, so much love for you. You know that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I hope you guys learned a lot of, you know, some insights. I know YouTubers aren't talking about stuff like this. So, you know, it's the nitty gritty. Really, it's the nitty gritty. With just a lot of what you would expect back home in your home country is exactly what you're going to expect here. All right, completely different how they do their thing, but if you're respectful and you show love and you give love to people, they're gonna give it right back to you, man. So yeah, so that's gonna be do it for me, man. I really appreciate you. I don't see anybody who wants to come up in the back. Let me remove that. All right, so do we have any final questions? Anybody? I hope you guys learned a lot. Again, remember, hit that relocation guide. Make sure you guys come on through. Set up a consultation with me. I'll tell you the real deal, what's going on. And when you get here, I'll be your liaison for you. So yeah, in the description you'll find relocation guide link for that for this consultation. All right, 30 minutes, $50. and you'll walk away knowing that Vietnam is either for you or not for you. Come and visit, check it out. But yeah, I really hope they get these visas, tight so that we can start to bring you guys in more. All right. But anyways, I hope you guys have a good night. Have a good morning wherever you're at. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate that. All right. See you later. Oh, look out for some videos that are coming up this week. All right. Be back, baby. See you guys. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out.